Hi guys, I got a really exciting email from Northern Ballet a couple of months ago. They basically said, "Hi Jen, we know that you did ballet for 14 years. We also know you're from the North and that you love Jane Eyre. Did you know that we're currently putting together a production of Jane Eyre for Charlotte Bronte's bicentenary this year? Would you like to come up and see us and have a look behind the scenes and see how we put it together?" So I thought about it for all of half a second and said, yes please, thank you very much. So Sana and I hopped on a train to Leeds to go and have a look to see how they were putting this ballet together. We met Hannah Bateman, who's playing Jane, and we met Javier Torres, who's playing Rochester. And when they danced together, oh my god. I'll show you some more of them dancing together in a bit, as well as an interview that I did with Hannah talking about her playing Jane. I like to think of ballet as kind of the poetry or Shakespeare of the dance world, because a lot of people are scared that they're not going to get it or that they're not going to like it. I always try and nudge people in the direction of Matthew Bourne when they say things like that. His all-male Swan production of Swan Lake is amazing, and I think that this production of Jane Eyre is going to do a similar thing, and that it's going to get new people coming to the ballet who haven't been to it before, and I have a really strong suspicion that they're going to fall head over heels in love with it. The choreographer of Jane Eyre is Kathy Marsden, and she's a bit of a marvel. She has choreographed ballets such as Wuthering Heights and A Tale of Two Cities and Lolita, so her passion is taking books that aren't normally seen as ballets and translating them from the page into dance form. How can we get the emotions and the themes and these characters to appear on stage without words but get you to feel the same emotions as when you're reading the book? Sana and I sat through 3 different rehearsals. We were there for the whole day, so we had these little window insights into little snippets of the ballet. The first one that we sat through was the prologue, and normally when you go and see a ballet, the characters are introduced and they walk around on stage, and the beginning of ballets are normally quite slow. Kathy didn't want that for this ballet. She wanted you to be thrown into the central theme of Jane Eyre. So the prologue has a grown-up Jane being chased by different men who are trying to catch her and push her down. It's very aggressive to watch. They are literally shoving her to the floor, dragging her along. They are like a forest of men. It's the patriarchy. It's a forest of patriarchy. Dance move that is used again and again during this prologue is that the men come and put their elbows on top of Jane's shoulders and frame her face like this, almost like they're building a house around her. They want to cage her. They want to trap her. It's like Jane being put in the Red Room at the start of the novel and Bertha being locked up too. And in this prologue, Jane grabs their arms and she pushes them away. So we've watched them perform this prologue scene over and over again, and Kathy would film them and then play it back to them. She would give them a debrief, they would discuss how to make it better, then they'd go again. There's so much imagery and storytelling going on through the movements that these dancers use. We were watching Kathy help create a scene between Jane and Rochester, who are Hannah and Javier, and then behind them there's also the seconds of Jane and Rochester, the understudies who have to be there to watch and help create the scenes as well. Jane and Rochester are trying to be really formal with each other, but maybe not so secretly. They'd quite like to passionately embrace instead. So they crafted this scene by having Hannah and Javier shake hands to show that they are being formal with each other, but then they duck under each other's arms and show how they really feel, which is in their heads, then duck back out again and shake hands again, showing that snap back to reality. You understand that that's not actually happening?
Yeah, no, I think it looks really good.
Okay. It would happen. Hannah Bateman, who plays Jane, has been with Northern Ballet for 14 years. She's 34. I know. It's a lie, I don't believe it. So I sat down with her to have a chat. So, how did you get into ballet?
So my mum took me along, I think it was like a week before my 3rd birthday, just to see if I would enjoy it, and that was it. I loved it. Actually, ballet was how I learned the days of the week, because ballet was on a Thursday. So
okay, I like that. What I find really fascinating, because as you guys will have seen watching footage, is how you adapt and change the role even on a daily basis. You're discussing it, changing it.
Yeah, you're finding it right up until that premiere night. And then even after that, you'll be like, oh, actually this worked really well on stage, or that came across very clearly, or we can make that stronger. That's what's lovely about a live art form. It continually evolves, and we'll find more in our characters as well as the performances go on. So there is so much growth within it.
And how has your view on Jane Eyre changed since doing these rehearsals and going into it? Did you have an idea of how you're going to play Jane, and has that altered at all?
I had a really clear idea of how I was going to play it, and then I sat and spoke with Kathy Marsden, the choreographer, and I thought, wow, no, I need to do this, come at a very different angle. It's very much kind of led by Kathy's Jane, and then it's me kind of layered on top of that.
So what is Kathy's Jane?
Kathy's Jane is incredibly subtle, and I think that's the beauty of the book as well. There's so much subtlety in it.
Yeah.
And she really wanted to tap into that, and she also wanted it to be very focused on the battle of Jane against herself all the way to the very end.
How is Bertha portrayed in this?
So Bertha, that was another thing. There's a solo that we've kind of nicknamed The Fire Within, and it's a really clever moment within the ballet. It's towards the end of Act 1 when Bertha is she's on stage, but she's kind of in the shadows, so she's there, but she physically mimics what Jane's doing. So there was that kind of suggestion that actually Bertha
And Jane,
and
obviously.
and that, you know, they kind of are each other, or they share traits of each other.
If you could say something to someone who's never been to a ballet before, but would encourage them to come to this one, what would you say?
I say, well, first off, I say come, it's going to be brilliant. But then I'd also say that it's wonderful because it's a real mix of a traditional style using, you know, classical ballet language, but with modern vocabulary, so it has an edge to it. I think it, you know, potentially would turn out to be very powerful.
I think so. I mean, even just watching snippets of it, especially the prologue.
Yeah.
And watching that again and again where Jane is pushed down.
Yeah, and I love that because physically you are exhausted. You know, there's no kind of I just have to act this bit. You really are exhausted, and you become Jane.
Come.
Yes.
I'm going to leave you with some rather amazing footage. I'm not saying that my camera skills are amazing, I'm saying what the dancers are doing is amazing. A scene between Jane and Rochester, and this scene is called the regret scene. It's just after Bertha has tried to set Rochester's bedroom on fire, well, has set his bedroom on fire, and Jane has put the fire out and has saved him. And they've realised that they really do feel quite deeply for each other, but they're trying to fight it. And I want you to watch their body language. It's amazing how they're both dancing with each other, but against themselves and pushing themselves away from each other at the same time. It is so heartfelt and emotional and amazing. Take a look. You have no idea how many times I've watched that footage back. I just think it's beautiful, and I know when I go and see the actual final show that I'm going to be an emotional wreck, so please come and join me. Jane Eyre is touring the UK during May and June. I'll link all the tour dates down below. If it's coming anywhere near you, or even if it isn't, go travel. Please go see it, because I think it's absolutely wonderful. If you haven't been to the ballet before, go and give it a try, because I think you might just love this one. If they're not coming to somewhere near where you are this time, then keep an eye on Northern Ballet's website for future tour dates. I know that they did 1984 last year, and that's now touring again this year, so you never know. It was a real privilege to watch all of this being crafted, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching the footage and are having a great week. I'll speak to you very, very soon. Lots of bookish love. Bye.